Let's start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rakakadash. That's Yahweh, which is the true name of our Almighty Heavenly Father in Hebrew. And that's in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahawashai, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. Honors to the brothers that's pushing this truth for His life and freedom to do so. And also honors to the hopeful elect, the 1/3 of our people who are the true believers in Yahweh Bashim Yahawashai, that's returning back to Him during these last days so that He will have mercy on us in His time of judgment. So we back with another live lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashai. I'm posted up at one of my spots. We're going to do a screen recording lesson a day and just run through the scriptures. And also, man, current events, there's been a bunch of stuff going on. They announced C-Day back in August, where they go bring in the new digital currency under the Central Digital Currency Bank, CB or something like that. It's going to replace our current currency, and that tells you that for you to have a digital currency, you're going to carry it on a digital device. And that digital device is going to be this RFID microchip. Because, again, you're not going to pull out your credit card or your debit card. Your digital currency not going to be linked to your phone. And the argument for that is the white man will tell you, well, phones get lost and stolen all the time. So your phone holding your digital currency, your digital wallet, it's no different than having a debit card. So you're not going to pay with your phone. The digital device is going to be this RFID microchip that holds the digital currency. And where you think they're going to place this at? It's going to go inside of you. It's going inside of the people. Countries like Sweden, they already went fully digital. They already functioning as a cashless society. But this whole digital system, they're going to have to upload it. And for example, when you update your phone, when you update your computer, what do your phone and your computer do? It shut off temporarily while the new software is updated. So this new digital software that's going to replace the current system here in America, they're going to have to unplug everything. Power, Wi-Fi, the power grid, internet, everything's going to have to be unplugged. So that this new software update can take place. And this picture I've been shown a lot. So you got RFID identification. That's the RFID chip. It emits a frequency that can be picked up by these 5G towers. Anyways, the RFID chip emits a frequency that can be picked up by these 5G towers to determine your location and track your movements. You're going to have fingerprint identification as well with other biometrics. For those who saw my lesson, it's not posted yet, but Esau stealing your biometrics. For those of you who saw the video of the Red Pyramid that was in Canada, that was stealing people's biometrics. Your blood vessel pattern in the palms of your hand, your fingerprints, your irises, what is the cutter part of your eye, and facial recognition. That's going to be part of this new digital system. They're going to have high-tech street cameras and scanners that's going to be analyzing people's biometrics to identify them as they move throughout America. And then those scanners are going to be scanning people's barcodes. Those who got the barcode is the people that took that medicine that came out in 2021. because at that injection site, you now have a barcode. And then not only that, you got 5G internet, which is the center of this new digital system. Then you're going to have a 5G supercomputer that's owned and operated by the government that's going to regulate everybody's transactions. That's going to analyze everybody and track everybody as they move throughout America. But again, they got to do it sort of like they got, this is the hardware, the infrastructure. You know, Biden just passed that infrastructure bill. They got the infrastructure in place. But now, your infrastructure, things like a computer, that would be considered infrastructure. It's physical hardware. Well, that physical hardware needs a software that's updated to it, you know, to run the different programs that it's going to be doing. And to do that, they're going to have to unplug the power grid. So FC Day is December 13th when they rolling out the digital currency, this new digital economy, digital system that tells you they're going to have to unplug the power grid before December 13th. So when is they going to unplug it? And not only that, you know, matter of fact, while we're here, I can't get my internet to connect to, oh, there we go. Bear with me for, bear with me 2 minutes. So if we know they unplugging the power grid before December 13th, that means it's going to happen now, between now and December 13th, them unplugging the power grids. One of my teachers, Yahawah the MACABBEES, posted a video, and I'm going to try to pull that video up real quick. Because the Vatican, they're the people who oversee all the religious and financial stuff in America. It's pretty much like the headquarters of this New World Order. And people at the Vatican, they ordering that all their assets be transferred to the Vatican Bank by September 30th. So if they want all their assets and valuables transferred to their bank by December 30th, that tells you sometime after September 30th, but before December 13th, they're going to bring about crash and everything. They're going to unplug the power grid. It's going to be a crash of the dollar. And let me try to skim through this video and try to find where they start talking about it. All right, now listen to this.
Grab this right quick. All right, I'm going to play the video.
Pope Francis orders all assets be deposited.
And the Pope is ordering this. You know, the Pope kind of at the top. The Pope is he's one of the head devils in charge of everything. So let's listen to what the Pope is ordering. Let me make this a little bigger.
Start over.
Pope Francis orders all assets be deposited in the Vatican Bank by September the 30th. Okay, that doesn't tell you something's going on. That man, he's the devil, man. That's the false prophet right there, right? Yeah, and he will announce, just like John the Baptist announced Jesus, he will announce Antichrist. What is the Vatican Bank? The Vatican Bank, also known as the Institute for Works of Religion, oh boy, isn't actually a bank. It's a financial institution in Vatican City that reports to the Pope. Yeah. And a commission of cardinals. The IOR has over 14,000 clients, including the Holy See. Holy, yeah, they try to say that's holy, unholy See.
So yeah, Pope is ordering. Let's continue.
I thought I'd bring this to you on my lunch break. Pope Francis
standard currency of the world.
And the standard currency of the world right now is the US dollar. So after all funds and assets are transferred to the Vatican Bank, it's going to be a great reset. It's going to be an economic collapse. They got to pull down the power grid because they got to reset everything. Because like when your phone or computer update, everything resets. It is sometimes, or a better term would be a reboot. They're going to reboot. That's a restart. And we're going to look at the definition of some of them words after we let this play.
Not saying that's 100%, just saying I seen that in the comments. But also, through a spiritual level, I know that this is coming. Okay, I've been telling y'all that we're going to switch to a new quantum financial system for a very, very long time. The Pope making these moves is not just for no reason, people. The United States dollar, the fiat dollar, it's done, okay? We're going to see a reset to the world's economy. And that process might be smooth, or it might be very well ugly. That is why I keep telling you, get your home in order and get ready.
I think you got one more.
The back end of this year could be absolutely wild for our financial system. I'm going to show you something crazy that was announced recently. Now again, this isn't picking sides, left, right, up, down, not about religion. This is about the financial system. I would love to hear in the comments what you think about this move that's being made. Pope Francis instructs the Vatican entities to move all funds to the Vatican Bank by September 30th, 2022. So a lot of people don't know this about the Vatican, but it is one of the smallest countries that has a massive impact on our financial system. So the Vatican invests in things like banking, real estate, many other investments. And they have a powerful say in our financial system. There's something else interesting at the end of this video I'm going to share with you guys, and I would love to hear your feedback on it. Now we also have BlackRock. I'm going to show you a little bit more information. BlackRock, Larry Fink, who's the CEO. BlackRock, Aladdin connected to Coinbase. Aladdin's mission is to move into zero carbon investments. Now remember, Larry Fink is on the board of trustees for the World Economic Forum, and the board of trustees' job is to move the mission forward of the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum is all about zero carbon, owning nothing and renting everything by 2030. The World Economic Forum, this is on the World Economic Forum, the Vatican urges Catholics to drop investments in fossil fuels and arms. BlackRock, from ambition to action, the path to net zero. This was back in 2018, where the Pope convened to talk to oil executives on how to move into climate change. Larry Fink was there as well. So you have one of the most powerful asset managers in the world who basically probably manages your 401k or your pension, and you have one of the most powerful religious institutions, the Vatican, at a meeting telling oil executives that they need to be moving into zero carbon. The thing that's intriguing me right now is the Vatican wants all the funds moved into the Vatican Bank by September 30th. And the 7-year cycle, Shemitah, ends on September 26, 2022. The Shemitah is a 7-year cycle. It's a biblical thing around agriculture, but it's also been tied to the financial system and collapses every 7 years. I absolutely love researching this stuff. It's so intriguing to me how deeply connected the churches, the banking systems are all connected to the same line, and it all seems to lead to the same place. You know the game, you can't be played. And as you look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way.
Yeah, he said it's amazing how much the religious systems and the banking systems are related. He said it all leads to the same place. Who does it lead back to? The so-called white man, Esau. And that's also law and the justice system, the entertainment, the pharmaceutical system. That's all linked with the banks and the religious systems. And I'll go back to the so-called white man.
Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go. Click my profile. Tons of free resources you can jump in. Are amazing. Warrior Academy. Love you guys. See you soon.
Okay, got another video to present as well. Give me one moment.
I really knows about cryptocurrency, about the digital currency, and yet you have people that believe that they're going to be safe if they buy Shibu Ibu or whatever it is, or crypto or Bitcoin. This is what you have to understand. None of that is going to be around. They have a new world order agenda. And I want to break this down and make this as plainly, as clear as I can. I'm not going to use no technological words to lose nobody. In order for the new world order system to work, there can only be their currency, the Biden bucks, or the digital currency, right? To understand that the Fed is going to control all currency. They want to control every transaction on the face of the earth. Okay? Now, when you have separate entities from Bitcoin, crypto, and all that, their plan won't work because they can't control that. So what they're going to do is, and I've been telling y'all this, and it seems like I get so many comments and inboxes and this, y'all don't pay attention to what's right in front of your faces. You know they finna crash the market. You know that they're gonna knock the grid out. That's the only way for them to upload their system, their supercomputer. Remember, they created this supercomputer that can control every transaction and read every transaction at the world simultaneously. It's the supercomputer, okay? The only way for that, now it's coming online, is going to start online in September, right? So now the only way for it to infect and infuse, there has to be a shutdown of the grid. And then a reboot of the system. But
He said reboot. That's what I mentioned a moment ago that we're going to look at.
it reboots the systems, it will be a completely new system. All of your Bitcoin and crypto and Shibu Inu and all that shit is gone. It is the trap to get you to buy all of this crap that they will control, and then they shut it down. If the grid goes down, all of your money is gone. There's nothing you can do. This is why I've been telling y'all, get your money up out of that shit. It's the trap. It's a setup, and 99% of y'all that go see this gonna still keep y'all Shibu Inu, and y'all still gonna keep y'all crypto, and y'all still gonna keep y'all Bitcoin, and then when it's gone and the grid is gone, they say, we can't help you find it. You're going to be looking silly. Whatever you have in that crap, get it out now. And I keep telling y'all that this was the setup. Once you have lost all of your life savings in this Shibu Inu or this Bitcoin or this crypto shit, right? Where do you turn? Now the rules have changed to the game. Now in order to be a part of society, you must do X, Y, and Z. You understand?
So what's that X, Y, and Z gonna be? Mandatory BAM, mandatory chipping stations. These Walmarts where people are gonna be running to get food when the shit crash. Well, these Walmarts are gonna turn into chipping stations. These Amazon Go stores. All right, you're gonna eat in order. This is why this is such a critical moment. All right, let me grab a couple of scriptures. All right.
All right, I'm looking up a few definitions real quick. All right, let me send this to the laptop real quick. Oh my God. So, yup, the Vatican Bank is ordering all assets and funds be transferred to them by December 30th. I'm down. It's ordering that all assets and funds be transferred to them by September 30th. I got a couple definitions we're gonna look at. Cause what? They gotta restart this digital system to upload the software or the program that's gonna run the entire world. Now, the first definition we're gonna look at is reset. To set again or differently than it's code, because down here it says cause a binary device to enter the state representing the numeral zero. So yeah, people invest into all these cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrency is a digital currency. So that digital currency is linked to the internet. When they pull the grid down, when they reset everything, the internet in all forms, electricity, electrical devices, anything that holds information is going to be wiped out. It's going to be brought back to zero. So those who invested thousands to millions into the cryptocurrency is going to be zeroed out. Your bank accounts with US dollars, your credit, your debit is going to be zeroed out. And another word that I got is reboot. It didn't really give me the definition that I was looking for. To restart or revive. So yeah, when you restart something, you starting over. So I say, like when your computer or your phone update, it got to shut off. So yeah, this stuff is going to update. So everything is going to have to shut off. But what they're doing is actually more than an update. It's a reboot. And those who know, if you had a hard drive or a computer or a phone and you had to reboot it before, what do they tell you? Back up everything. Because once you reboot your electrical device, it's going to be wiped clean. There's going to be nothing on it. And that's the same with this digital system. I mean, it's an update, but it's actually a reboot. And with this reboot, everything's going to be wiped clean. All your debt, all your money, but also all your investments. So there's no way to escape this reset. Reset or reboot, can sort of be the same word. This is the great reset. Yeah, you won't have no debt, but you're not going to have none of your previously money saved up neither. You're starting from zero. And then to go along with that thing, C-Day, December 30th, we know that they want to give the people a basic income. As a matter of fact, we're going to listen to this video again real quick since I got it right here. It's about 2 minutes, so listen up.
Well, some of America's smartest men, including Robert Kiyosaki, investment guru, and
We see the date, December 13th.
author of the personal finance book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, have some choice words for Executive Order 14067. It would behoove you to listen to them. Kiyosaki called President Joe Biden's signed executive order the most treasonous act in U.S. history, and the creation of a central bank digital currencies, or CBDC, as communism in its purest form, encouraging Americans to stay awake. And he's also joined by Jim Rickards, another economist, investor, and former CIA official, who's calling it a step toward the end of cash, the greenback in circulation since the Founding Fathers. The new digital tokens can be turned off if the government doesn't like what you're doing. And Rickards has 4 decades of experience on Wall Street. Rickards criticized CBDC and labeled it as Bitcoin's evil cousin. He also exposed the supposed singular event called C-Day, which according to him will take place on December 13th, 2022, and will disrupt the traditional financial systems in the United States. He said when what he calls C-Day happens, paper money will be worthless and the US dollar could crash. He further added that consumer spending and access to basic needs will be restricted, and people holding too much money will be penalized. Going further into this, in terms of practicality, you want to keep your internal combustion engine car? Your digital dollars suddenly won't pay for the gas. You'll be forced to buy an electric vehicle. And Rickards calls it a tip of the fastest iceberg. With Biden bucks, the government would be able to force you to comply with its agenda, because if you don't, they can turn off your money. And this won't be like freezing a bank account. It'll be so much easier. America will become a surveillance state, much like China or North Korea says. Is this scare talk? No, it's just Executive Order 14067. Biden signed it on March the 9th, 2022. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America. Look it up. Now, this is coming from WorldNet Daily. I'll leave the link down below. Of course, I know you got a lot of comments. Leave them down below as well. For TNS Texas News Studio, Mark Mars, I'll talk to you.
So, yep. C-Day, December 13th. Maybe the bringing in the new digital system. And what I was looking at on the calendar, if the Vatican's is ordering that all assets and funds be transferred by September 30th, from September 30th to December 13th, that's 74 days. That's just really 2.5 months away from all hell breaking loose. You know, Jacob's Trouble, martial law, the start of the New World Order. But within that 74 days, this power grid is going to have to go down. They're going to have to reset, reboot this entire digital infrastructure that's currently in place. So let's say once they move all their assets and funds to the Vatican Bank, September 30th. Again, we got 74 days. 74 days divided by 2 would be like 37 days. So let's say 37 days in, they bring the power grid down. 37 days, I believe, would be like November 6th. With 37 more days after that, you got the cancellation of the dollar, C-Day. So all this stuff is going to happen, really, it's going to seem like a matter of moments. It's going to seem like a matter of moments. Because everything going to be seeming normal until the very last moment. Because this one day we going to wake up, ain't nothing going to be working. They not going to give us no heads up. They not going to give us no warning. You just going to wake up wondering why the lights ain't working. They want to, all right, let me look for my phone so I can use the light on my phone. Hey, worst case scenario, anything that's battery powered not going to work either. Watches, cars, phones, you know, or battery stuff may work. It depends on the scenario. If it's an EMP attack, none of that stuff won't work. But if it's a cyber attack, battery operated stuff may work. And then you're going to have people start to going crazy, wondering what's going on. No telling how long it's going to be out. But through that time of blackness, that's when they're going to start snatching up people. Us Israelites, the outspoken ministers, the people that's speaking out against this New World Order. So I know that went on a little longer than I intended it to be, but that was really to show the timeline of the things to come, current events, you know, stuff that's in the news. So starting here at the bottom, Vatican orders all assets to be transferred to the Vatican Bank by September 30th. Biden planning to protect us from cash, December 13th. That's a 74-day gap. So within that 74 days, expect everything to go off. So we really in the last few moments of normal living. Because after that, things won't be normal no more. Then he said here, after December 13th, he said we won't be able to buy gas no more. Because we saw what the man was speaking about previously about the Pope. He was telling these companies and these CEOs they got to go net zero. That means they not burning no fossil fuel. And that's why they talk about global warming. Like, oh, we're warming the planet. We got to watch how we harm the climate. Ain't no such thing as global warming. That's just propaganda propaganda to make them make everything go digital. No gas or oil operated vehicles, no paper, because they say making paper contributes to global warming too, because you're cutting down all the trees. Cutting down all the trees does harm the environment, but that was propaganda to say, well, we need to go digital. Everything needs to be electronic. And then with your electronic vehicle, they can track where you go. They can turn off the chips in that, you know, because everything is going to be linked to this digital infrastructure. Other things that's happened, I got a bunch of stuff on the screen right here. Europe has now entered its worst drought in 500 years. When you read the Revelation, just hold on one sec. When you read the book of Revelation, you read something about the beast ascended out the bottomless pit, or the smoke arose out of the bottomless pit. And Europe is not that bottomless pit once again. And I'm going to do a lesson on this in the near future, Lord willing, because that's something I always wondered but could never really understand. But other things that's in the news, let's see. No gas supply through the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. And this is a gas supply, a big pipe that goes from Russia to Europe. So Russia is shutting off the gas and oil supply. Russia is shutting off the gas and oil supply to Europe. So Europe is in an energy crisis. You know, they limited gas and oil consumption. They limited use of electricity and air conditioners and heaters. So that makes sense when Biden says it's going to be a dark winter. Why is it going to be a dark winter? Well, for starters, they got to bring in this new digital system. So they're going to shut off everything so they can do a reboot. Not only that, there's a big war between gas and oil right now. And Russia is shutting off a lot of the gas and oil to these European countries that side with America. So they shut off all street lights at a certain hour. Again, they limit heat and air conditioner usage. So imagine in the wintertime, places like America and Europe, when it's cold for like 4 to 6 months at a time, freezing temperatures. How they gonna limit heat usage? That's gonna be that dark winter. It's gonna be cold, dark, and brutal. No heat, no gas, no oil. There's food shortages. So, yep, lights off in Europe as winter approaches. The same thing will reach America, because America, we going through our gas and oil reserves right now. The Edomite said we running out of diesel fuel. They've been talking about the power grid can't handle how much the air conditioning been on out here in the South. They're gonna say the same thing in the winter. Or the power grid can't handle how much heat is being used by America. So the power grid gonna go down. And that's gonna be the time where they reboot to bring in this new digital system. Other things that's out there. Russia and North Korea to expand ties. So you looking at the destroyers of America. You looking at the destroyers of America. You looking at people, you looking at two of the world leaders that's gonna send you people to hell. Because again, hell ain't underground. It's the lake of fire. It's the nuclear destruction. And that nuclear destruction is gonna be hell on earth. Because everywhere them nuclear missiles hit, people gonna be getting burned up with fire that's 180 million degrees Fahrenheit. So these are the destroyers of America. They're gonna bring about the death of America and the death of hundreds of millions of American people. The so-called white man and the 2/3 that don't turn back to this truth. Now they expand their ties. What you think they talking about? They talking about their military and their alliance, their relationships. Pretty much they're gonna be having each other back. They're gonna team up to destroy America. You know, bringing out stuff that's ignored. Another one. Russia restores infrastructure for nuclear weapons in Crimea. According to Alina Folava, General Director of the Center of Defense Strategies, the Russian Army has set a special unit to the Crimean Peninsula. This unit is responsible for the service of nuclear objects, including strategic nuclear weapons. So Russia is in the process of developing new nuclear weapons and upping the production of new nuclear weapons. Because they already got a big nuclear arsenal, but they upping their production. They're gonna need a whole lot more to destroy America and the European Union. Another one, Russia to use Iranian drones in Ukraine. Iran specialized in these killer drones. So Russia is expanding relations and ties with North Korea, and they also expanding ties with Iran. Now, America to dump the people down. Iran in the Middle East ain't the same Iran in the Middle East 20 years ago when George Bush invaded it. Iran is you could say, is considered a superpower now. Because look, Russia even going to Iran for help, and Iran is lending them a helping hand by sending them a bunch of these killer drones. Yeah, so Iran is now a superpower up there with Russia, China, North Korea, America, and Iran is also going to be another country that brings about the death of America. Man, so yeah, that's just stuff that's in the headlines. What else? You got floods throughout all America. State of emergency is being declared in places where all these floods taking place in New York and California, and I think some parts of Texas they declared a state of emergency for that monkey business, the monkey POX. And what else? What else going on out here? Oh, something that ain't been talked about. It's a draft going on. Excuse me. People that's been retired from the military is being asked to come back. People that's in the reserves is asking to become full duty because America has a shortage on soldiers. Why is that? Because they got military bases all over the world. Their military is stretched thin. And why else is that? Because America is the home of a bunch of fruitcakes, a bunch of softies. You don't got men that's growing up desiring to be a soldier or to be in the military now. Now men growing up desiring to be women, they participate in the drag shows, they becoming trannies, they identifying themselves as women, they going soft. So there's a shortage of male soldiers in the U.S. military. So the draft is happening, and everybody that got a driver's license in America, you had to check that box to register for the selective service. That's the draft. So we all got driver's licenses, or that took financial aid. So one way or another, all of us are part of that draft. And NISA gonna start tracking us down soon to bring us into the military. And that's gonna also contribute to Jacob's trouble. Because they're gonna be trying to exterminate us, trying to chase us down. They give us that RFID chip, and they give us that medicine from 2021, and they're gonna be trying to throw us in the draft. They're gonna be trying to throw us in the FEMA death camps. But let's get this last call scripture right here, Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land. not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And what's going to be that famine of the word? That's going to be when you can no longer find His truth. So now things are getting clearer and clearer. December 13th, C-Day, the cancellation of the dollar, the ushering in of this new digital system. Again, December 13th, September 30th, they want all assets and funds to be transferred to the Vatican Bank. So within that 74-day gap, they're going to have to bring down the power grid and reboot the digital infrastructure in America. That reboot, America going dark, the power being shut off, is the famine of the word. Because this word is mostly heard via the internet, which you need electricity, which you need the power grid for. So when the power grid goes down, that marks the start of the famine of the word. And even now, you got rolling blackouts throughout America that be in different regions at a time. So between September 30th and between December 13th, there's going to be a famine of the word. So and that's between, again, the power may go down halfway through this 74-day gap. Let's highball it. Let's say power went out 50 days from September 30th. That'll be about November 19th. So let's say power did go out, November 19th. You got 50 more days to learn this truth. You got 50 more days to deepen your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got 50 more days to turn back to the Lord, which is not a process. You don't just listen to a couple videos and say you came back to the Lord. It's a process. There has to be a renewing of your mind. For some people, that process might take a couple weeks. Some people might take a couple months. But really, a few weeks and a couple months is all we got left until this famine of the word. So 50 days is really a low number to get the testimony of YAHAWASHI, to have a renewing of your mind, to be born again in the spirit, to learn this true doctrine. 50 days is a short time. Hey, it could not be 50 days. It could be halfway through. It could be 37 days. That's just about a month and a week. That's 5 weeks. So it could only have 5 more weeks of this truth. Time is unbelievably short. We can't even really comprehend how short it is. So people that's BSing, that's halfway in, halfway out, they lukewarm, they're going to be left on the outside. And then when the power go out, those of us who've been trying to wake up the people, you're not going to be able to contact us. You're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know what's next or how you should move. You're not going to know what to pray for or what to expect. You're not going to know how the Lord is going to bless you. You're not going to even know that you're supposed to run to the wilderness. So we coming to some real, real heavy times. People going to bug out. And they shall wander from sea to sea, from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. Yeah. They're going to be trying to wonder why all their electrical devices ain't working. And the internet is going to come back on eventually, because again, 5G is the center of this digital system. So the internet going to come back on, but life probably not going to be normal when the internet come back on. You can assume that everybody going to be on the run from Esau and his military. And then also the people who may be able to access the internet. It's going to be a reboot. And what's reboot or a reset? When something starts at zero. So not only is your bank accounts and your stocks and investments going to be zeroed out, this truth going to be zeroed out. Like when you search something on Google and YouTube, it's going to say your search yielded 0 results. You're not gonna find this nowhere. And then anything that's halfway true, Edomites and brothers speaking out against the New World Order, the digital system, speaking out against the government, all that stuff gonna be wiped out. The internet is gonna be heavily policed. You're gonna have internet police. That's policing what people putting on the internet, what people looking at. That's why it says they should seek the word of the Lord and shall not find it. Because when it says they should run to and fro, this ain't physical running. They're going to be running them search engines. And that's why Isaiah 5 and 6, 55 and 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let's say power goes down before Thanksgiving. You got approximately, 50 to 60 days, to turn back to the Lord. Let's say if it go out before November, you got approximately 30 days from September 30th. We in the beginning of September now, but you can add, about 28 more days to that. But we already in September. August have flown by. China done threatened Taiwan. Don't think that died down. The tensions between Taiwan, China, and America is still high. See how fast September fly by even faster than the month of August. And then October gonna fly by faster than September. November gonna fly by faster than all these previous months. So we here. But the power going down, the black power gonna mark the start of a lot of things. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the teachings of YAHAWASHI just for a little moment. Then YAHAWASHI sent it to his disciples, which I went over this previously on the live lesson, but we're gonna recap to lead us throughout the rest of the scriptures that I'm gonna cover. Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. All these people in America, y'all are rich because the American dollar is a stronger currency. It's the strength of Pharaoh. You could take the US dollar and go to most countries and be considered rich in those countries. Not only the cash that you got on deck or in the bank, you got many possessions, shoes, clothes, electronics, TVs, vehicles. You can sell all that stuff and have a nice amount of money. So whether you know it or not, most people in America, we are rich. So most of you people in America not going to get the kingdom of heaven. Because again, a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. Why is that? Because they are a friend of the world. What is that? Is that James 4 and 4? Let's see. Ye adulterers and adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the Lord of the world is enemy with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. So for the most of the time to be rich, you got to be a friend of the world. You got to be prospering in the system, playing by the book, playing by the rules, playing by Esau. That's usually how you get rich in the world. So you a friend of the world, you an enemy of the Most High. That's why a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And then what? The cares of the world that'll occupy your time, keep you distracted from this truth. And again, I say unto you, it is easier for a camel, an animal, to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. So both of them are impossible. But the Lord said it's easier for a camel to go through the point of a needle than a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the kingdom of heaven. So there will be no rich people there. Um, some of us in this truth, we got possessions. Everybody's struggles are different. So some of us got, you know, decent material wealth, but we already detached ourselves from the things. And the difference is those of us that got, cash or material wealth, when the power go out, we gonna ditch all that stuff. So we gonna forsake it. We're gonna disown it. We gonna consider it not ours no more. But the people who got wealth and possessions, they're gonna hold on to those possessions with the blackout through this time of trouble. They're gonna try to hold on to it when Esau coming to take it from them. They not gonna forsake it. So that's the difference. We gonna go poor for this truth once we disown everything. But everybody else, they not gonna we gonna go poor. They not gonna willingly go poor. They not gonna willingly give everything up. And that's why when we go back up, which I went into also last week, Yahawashi said it to him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast. So he said, go and sell everything, give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. When you follow Yahawashi, you leaving something else behind. You can't follow two things at once. So following Yahawashi, that's you turning your back to everything else, forsaking everything else. What happened to Lot's wife? When she was supposed to be following Lot, following the Lord out of the destruction, she looks back. And when you look back, that represents you not forsaking it. That represents you trying to hold on to it. So, we got a couple cars, we got houses, we got money. We going to give all that stuff up, though. But the 2/3, they going to hold on to it. And that's why when we go down a little bit, we're going to read this to read us to the next part. So let's read 24 again. And again, I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, who then can be saved? But Yahushua told them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with Yahweh all things are possible. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. Yeah, because the process of following Yahawashi is you forsaking everything. You can't follow Yahawashi, but you looking back. You're not going to see where you're going. You got to keep your eye on Yahawashi. That's how you follow. You follow wherever the thing you are following moves. If you're looking back, if you're not forsaking what's behind you, you're not going to see where you're going. You're going to go off track. That's why it says we have forsaken everything. We turned our back to everything. We disowned everything and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And that goes back to what we said before. It is easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. Because those of us who got possessions, while America is still functioning, we're going to forsake it. When the power go out, in the times of trouble, the great tribulation, and we're going to follow Yahawashi in the spirit. It's going to be death and chaos in the streets and in the cities. We're going to have to go to the wilderness. And that's in the scriptures that the Lord prepared the place for us in the wilderness, which I'm going to do a lesson on. So we're going to forsake everything. That's how we going to go poor. So those of us who got possessions and wealth today, that's temporarily. We're going to give it all up willingly. I'm like, here, Esau, you can have it. But the 2/3, they're not going to want to give it up. They're going to want to stay rich. They're going to want to continue holding on to that wealth or to those possessions that they perceive to have value. We don't care what the value of anything is. We leaving it. We ditching it. We forsaking it. And we going to follow Yahawashi. The word will lead you to the wilderness. That's in Revelation. That's in Ezekiel. You can even look through the entire book of Exodus. That's why America is spiritual Egypt. What did they do once they fled Pharaoh? They was in the wilderness. They was in Sinai Desert for 40 years. What are we doing in this spiritual Egypt, which is America? That's why the pyramid on the back of the dollar. We're going to flee into the wilderness again for a certain amount of time until the Lord, come and deliver us. And that's why this is so heavy. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. That's what the elect is going to do. That's why we the elect. We're going to leave behind everything. That's why the Lord says their gold and silver will not save them. That people going to cast gold and silver in the streets. Because what? If you're trying to run, you holding on to gold, that gold going to weigh you down. When Esau coming to chase you with that RFID chip, you can't say, I'll give you this gold if you let me go free. Esau gonna snatch your gold and rape you and then microchip you. You know, Esau is into that kind of stuff. They had a thing called buck breaking. They would take the biggest, strongest male Negro slaves and rape them in front of his wife and children. If he didn't go through with it, he'll just rape his wife and children instead. So those were some strong men. They took the raping in place of their wife and children. And then Esau still went and slept with his Edomite woman that night. So they discussed it. Then Yahawashi said unto them, Verily I say to you, that ye which have followed me. You can't just follow if you're already following something else. So to even begin to follow Yahawashi, you got to forsaken everything. You know, those of you 2/3, y'all didn't forsake everything. Y'all still trying to follow the Lord with your eye on the money, with your eye on your possessions. So that's the equivalent of you driving on a busy road in the middle of traffic, but you keep looking down at your phone. Yeah, that's you. You supposed to be following, trailing somebody else, but you keep looking down at your phone. You're going to lose the person you following. You're going to get lost in traffic or you're going to crash. That's the 2/3 that's trying to hold on to the ways of the world while still follow the spirit of Yahawashi. So again, very I said unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, lifetime after lifetime, being reincarnated, dying, and born again in the flesh over and over again. This is regeneration. The generation, I don't know the technical definition, but it's how can I put it? It's to live. Then re means either again or back. So back to life, back to living again. So ye that which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory at his return, this that final generation, ye also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So those of us that forsaken everything is because we got our eyes on the kingdom. We see beyond all this stuff. It's like when you got a job, but you stop caring about the job because you already got your eyes set on the bigger and better job. Because what's our job right now? To turn back to the Lord, to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. What's the next job description? It's to sit on our thrones and to judge the 12 tribes of Israel, to judge the earth, to take ownership of the earth, to live in peace. That's our next job description. Do a lesson on that. So yeah, things, man. And not only that, it's a full-blown war in Syria between America and Iran. You don't even know that that's a war going on right now. Israel and America against Iran, Palestinian, in the Middle East. which my cousin sent me a video on that. It's a full war going on between those parties that American media ain't even covering. And what's going on, things is becoming heated. For example, when you boil in a pot of water, you know, when it ain't no lid, no top on it, you can hear it boiling, you can see it, you can see the early warning signs of it. Well, what America media does, they like to put a top or a cap or a lid on everything that's brewing up. So then you're not aware of it, that it's even an issue until it's boiling, leaking out of the pot. Well, that lid done hid everything. That's what America do with their media. They like to cover over everything and hide it. Then you don't realize it's an issue until it's already boiling out of control. But those of us that's been gifted with the Holy Spirit, we can see through that covering. And that would be their lies. They lying everything all right. But we can see through that. We realizing everything ain't all right. The 2/3 not going to see through the lies, through that covering, until everything already boiling out of control. The power going out. Esau coming in like a flood. The nuclear missiles. So yeah, everything is far from normal. We coming into some dark times. That's it for the lesson here. Till next time, Shalom.